Hello everyone, this is Amity Sensei. Today I'll be introducing you to some features in Procreate while drawing this 3D Nintendo logo. This is actually easy to draw, and I only use one layer. They have a grid function that makes it easier for you to draw in 3D, so that's something I want to introduce you in today's video. I hope you look for this Nintendo 64 illustration and draw with me at the same time. Alright, let's open Procreate. From the plus button, set screen size to start. The canvas size doesn't really matter this time, so set it to whatever size you prefer. First, I will set up the grids. From the gear icon at the upper left, there's a canvas tab, so tap it, and you should see a drawing guide right here, so turn it on. And now, a thin grid line will be reflected on the screen, as you can see. As you tap the Edit Drawing Guide below, there will be options to further adjust your guide. So turn on the isometric option. Diagonal lines will be drawn like this. And here at the bottom, you can adjust the size of the grid, so this time set it 74 or 75. The opacity and the color can be adjusted here too, so set them according to your preferences. Once you're done, tap Done. I'm going to draw a rough draft first, so while layer 1 is being selected, grab a pencil brush. Then grab neon colors like purple or pink, so it's easier to see. I'm going to start drawing from here, but count 8 squares towards the bottom from the center. And grab a line that's worth 8 squares, like this. After this center line, the next one is 7 squares towards the upper right diagonal, so count 7 squares and draw a straight line that's worth the same number of squares. So 8 squares for the center line, and 7 squares for the upper right diagonal line. In the same way, count and draw a line of 7 squares towards the upper left diagonal. And as you draw lines connecting these 3 straight lines, you can draw a cube beautifully. Next, I will mark off the line towards the upper right by 2 squares, 3 squares, and 2 squares. Do the same towards the upper left by 2 squares, 3 squares, and 2 squares. So this was for 2 squares. Have 3 squares in between, and draw a line here as well. Now make sure to draw the top part too. From the vertex of the line you just drew, draw or extend the line to the opposite side like this. I'm going to draw the letter N of Nintendo, so draw a letter N on both the right side and the left side. Once you've done these, the base is almost complete. Grab an eraser tool and erase lines that are unnecessary. I don't need the lines at the center, as well as around the end here. Having too many lines can make things complicated later, so make sure to erase all the lines you don't need at this stage. From now on, I want to start working on the inside the cube. And to make it easier to see, I will use a different color from here. Grab an emerald green color to start drawing the line inside here. It's probably a good idea to draw by referring to the sample image on the side. For instance, diagonal line here. It's connected from the vertex to the edge right here. So a tip here is to imagine which point is connected to which point in your head as you draw. It can be a little difficult, but I'm sure you can do it. Once you're done, in the same way, erase the lines that are invisible using eraser tool. For instance, this line should be invisible with the block in front, so go ahead and erase this emerald green line. Here as well. Go ahead and erase it too. Now we're finally done with the rough draft, and now we'll start coloring. To do so, first select the rough draft layer of N, and there should be opacity level, so set it lower. It should be slightly visible. Add a new layer on top of this from the plus button here, where we'll be coloring. And the brush we'll use is called Monoline. It can be found in the calligraphy section. I'll first work on the navy one, but make sure that the layer 2 is selected here, and start drawing a line here. Trace the line from area like this. When drawing a straight line, touch the screen with your left finger and hold like this. And you can draw a perfect straight line. So make sure to draw while touching the screen. And after you draw a straight line, long tap or hold it there and touch the screen with your left finger. Once we are done with the lines, we'll be coloring. When coloring, from the color icon at the upper right, throw it in like this to do that. In case you find some spots that are not colored, slide to the right and to the left like this. This way you can color nicely. In the same way, I'll color the left side with green. So again, grab a monoline and color by drawing a straight line. You don't have to draw the line between the blue and the green anymore, as it's already drawn. So only draw the missing lines here for the letter N in green. I'm done coloring in green, so now I'll start coloring the top part in yellow. Okay, next I'm going to start coloring the inside in green. I want to use the same green color used earlier. To do that, here we have a history category below with a list of colors used, so just grab green from here and draw as it's quicker. If you prefer eyedropper tool, that's okay to use that as well. The last one is red. Grab red, and for this part, just throw it in like this. And draw this part, the bottom right here too. Alright, just like this, the cube is complete. It's really quick and easy to do, right? It's a bit tricky to get the right shape in the beginning, but after that, it's super easy to color and draw, and it actually feels great doing that, so I really want you to give it a try. Before I finish, I want to brush up a little bit. Right now, the drawing guide is turned on, but turn it off to erase the lines. Here, as I zoom in, the yellow part is sticking out a bit. When this happens, grab a different color, trace and color as if you're using eraser. There's some other parts like this, so make sure to work on them at last. As for color, the yellow part is a bit too bright compared to the sample image, and it needs to be more orange in color. So if you want to change the color, grab a color from the color picker here and color over here to kind of cover it up. This way, the color slightly changes for the yellow parts only. So throw in color to these 4 yellow slides and you can quickly change the color like this. In the same way, if you want to change the blue or green part, you could always change the color by throwing in a bucket color like this as much as you want. So remember to adjust the color at very last. Now I want to set the angle view. From the gear icon at the upper left, there's a crop and resize option, so turn it on. This way we can trim the image, or we can change the size as well as the position of the canvas later on. So set it in a way that this Nintendo cube is placed in the center and tapped on. If you want to, you can have a background as well. Create a new layer from the plus button and set the layer below the Nintendo layer. Grab gray and throw its bucket in. This way, the background is colored in gray, as you can see. Tap the arrow icon to change the size by 1/3. Select freeform at the very left here and trim it down to 1/3. I want to make it look like gradation by applying the blur, as it will look better. And to use the blur from the adjustment panel, there should be a Gaussian blur option, so tap it. As you move your Apple Pencil to the right and to the left, it gets blurred gradually. See and set the point you like, though I think around 50 to 60% is great. And release your hands and now the gradation is complete. Okay, that's all for today. What do you think? Were you able to draw it? This shape makes it seem difficult to draw when you look at it at a glance. But by knowing these functions and tools, it's actually easy to draw, so make sure to study some tools in Procreate as well as in other apps and think about what you could draw with those tools. Alright, that's all for today's video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have anything you want me to draw in Procreate, please leave your comment down below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!